Oh, wow. I can't believe this. Alright, we are here for 300. Yep, that's right. Wait, no, I'm sorry, not that movie. Shit, no. I'm sorry. No. 300 subscribers. Holy crap, guys. Over 300 subscribers. You guys are amazing. You really do support my channel. I'm so glad for that. I did not know I was going to get a lot of subscribers, but my God, you guys are just, you really make me cry so much. So, but that's not why we're here. So, but anyways, thank you so much for your 300 subscribers. I'm really happy for you guys. You guys just made my day. So, yeah. But anyways, last night at 9:15, I went to the movies at AMC for IMAX at 10, which starts at 10:30. I went to see it by myself for the first time, and there was like a lot of people with me, and I mean a lot of people. I'm seeing it again, like this time with my parents, another time with my friends, and supposedly one of my best friends, basically, like she goes to the same class as how I was in high school. But anyways, I'm taking all my friends with me another time. But anyways, I'm seeing it with my family. I'm seeing it again, but with my family in Dolby. But I actually saw, yeah, that's right. We're reviewing Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Oh my God. That movie really bumped for me. It's so good. It's so good. I really love this movie. There are a lot of Easter egg stuff. There's a lot I really want to talk about. But the thing is that I will tell you guys that this movie, well, first of all, I just want to tell you guys that, yes, I saw a few movies I never talked about. Detective Pikachu, John Wick, and Aladdin. So these three movies were alright, I guess. I mean, Pikachu was just, it was okay. I mean, it wasn't a masterpiece. It was just a kid's movie. John Wick was pretty good. Aladdin, like, I feel so bad for that movie. Like, I felt so bad. So, yeah, Disney remakes, nobody gives a shit. But anyways, with this movie, it's so, I can't wait to see it again. It's so good. It's super good. But, let's get to the point. This movie is major spoilers, okay? I talked about my thoughts. There are a lot of things I wanted to say. It's so good. It's definitely up to be some of my favorite Godzilla movie. Oh my God, it's so good. It's so perfect. It's emotional too. So yeah, if you are not into spoilers, then get the fuck out of here. Because you need to go see this movie. I need you guys to go see this movie. It was so perfect. Better than Endgame. Better than an Endgame by far, obviously. But let's get to the review. So yeah, critics could suck my ass, whatever. But anyways, the movie is dark. Well, not dark like 2014 was. It's just like in a good way. So the divorcing part was heartbreaking between both Dr. Emma Russell and Mark Russell, because due to the fact that their son is dead. Andrew Russell, yeah, to quote from D-Man, rest in peace, little Russell. Madison Russell, which is played by, I forgot the little girl's name. She was in Avengers Endgame. Well, I'm talking about the younger version of Madison Russell. She's the same girl who plays Iron Man's daughter. But now the Madison Russell we're all focusing on is basically Millie Bobby Brown from Stranger Things. Oh my God. So actually she did an interview with this movie, and people asked what monster she loves the most between Rodan or Mothra. She actually said Mothra, and Shane Jackson Jr. actually stated like, oh, well, because you touched her or something like that. And she goes, no, because Mothra's beautiful and stuff like that. I'll talk about Mothra in a moment soon. But yeah, Madison Russell in this movie, I actually loved her. So it's so great. Like, she's done great. Yeah, we're going to talk about the characters right now. So Madison Russell is probably my second favorite character of the movie because she's just amazing. I loved her a lot. And basically, I did follow her on Instagram, so don't you worry. So, Mark Russell, he's too much to be good. Like, he's like too much to be good, and I think he's great in this movie. Like, great. Mark Russell, played by Kyle Chandler, he played a lot of dads. Like, I should have mentioned this. He's been in a lot of movies to play as a dad. So the rest of the characters are pretty good. Emma Russell, played by Vera Farmiga, was pretty good actually. Charles Dance's character, known as Jonah Allen, or now it's Alan Jonah. It's really confusing. He is like scary. He is so. I mean, we all seen him from Game of Thrones. I mean, I already watched the series, and yes, I'm gonna be like everyone else. I was disappointed at the series finale, like by meaning I am. So yeah, but in this movie, he is pure evil. He is really evil. So, but spoiler warning, no, he's not dead. He's still alive. So basically, he's alive. So I'll talk about what characters died. So, anyways. Every other characters are great. My favorite character in the movie is, once again, Dr. Serizawa from the 2014, and he reappeared again. So, now let's talk about Easter eggs. So, we all talk. So, basically, there are a lot of Easter eggs to deal with. One of them is Kong. One of them is like Kong, which is only shown in several like footages because they were captured by Randa from Kong Skull Island. It's hard to recognize all the characters from Skull Island, but I think they showed a lot of there's footages of what Monarch are searching for monsters, such as Godzilla, the Mutos, and Kong. Like, they were the only ones they found. Yet the Mutos are completely dead. So speaking of Mutos, you guys are not going to believe something about a Muto, which I'll talk about this in a moment soon. So, anyways, now that I explained that, there's something I also wanted to tell you. Let's go back to Easter. Let's keep going with Easter eggs. So, the Oxygen Destroyer is not like a reference or just a cameo or something. So, it's actually a key weapon, which is basically like, you don't see it in person, but it was shown. And it was created by not Dr. Serizawa. It was created by probably the same admiral from 2014. He showed up and he created the Oxygen Destroyer to destroy Godzilla and Ghidorah. Well, to stop the monsters. So, but then when it bombed it up, when it caused a massive destruction. The Oxygen Destroyer never caused an explosion. This is the first time that ever happened. But Ghidorah was basically a survivor for that. Wow, that was crazy. Godzilla was like, he wasn't dead. Don't worry, he's not dead. But he did survive. And yes, I'm going out of order because I don't know how to say this, but so yeah, I don't know. There's a lot to deal with. I'm gonna go over the story, stuff like that, during my Godzilla-thon, like tell you the entire story of what's going on. So, but anyways, now to explain that, there's still a bunch of Easter eggs. There's like, I think so. The ending, like before the after credits scene, is basically a tribute to Hororo Nakajima and Yoshihito Banno. Yeah, Yoshihito Banno's name was tributed because he was involved with this movie and the previous film. Like, he's involved, and he's the guy who directed Godzilla vs. Hedorah. I wanted to say his sequel project could actually be the one that someone can actually do, because it needs to be discovered. Hororo Nakajima was also tributed, but not only that, but they gave a picture of him with the Godzilla suit. That was so beautiful, and everyone was applauding. So I'll get to a after credits scene like way later. So, but it's nothing you're gonna expect, okay? It's not what you're expecting or anything, okay? So don't think of it as like what you're thinking, like Kong or something. So yeah, sorry guys, it's not Kong. Kong did not make it to the after credits scene. He was only like in a flash. He was only like footaged out from like footage from Skull Island, yeah, on my computer, and it's sometimes mentioned. And Skull Island's been mentioned a few times. So yeah, this movie does not count for Kong's appearance because obviously it's not really like Kong inside the movie. It's just like a reference. But anyways, there are a bunch of Easter eggs. I might want to go back if I miss out more. So yeah, but anyways, and finally the biggest discussion that everyone has. We were all expecting this big answer about the twin fairies. What do they look like? What do they look like right now? Like what's the purpose that Michael Dougherty stated of the fairies? Well, as it turns out, do you guys know who Dr. Chen is? Like, you saw her in the movie? Well, here's the craziest thing you need to hear. It turns out she has a twin sister, and she's been communicating with Mothra. Like, both her and her twin sister actually communicate with Mothra, and they have so much connection to it. Like, oh my god, that's a good thing. That is so badass. That is like, wow. So yeah, spoiler warning. It's not what you're expecting. So yeah, I wish it was the fairies. Okay, I wish it was, but hey, at least we get to see something, and it's close enough to be as what we can see for the fairies for Mothra. Unlike GMK, where we only see like a cameo with twin girls that is a reference to the twin fairies of Mothra. So yeah, there you go. Now I explain that. Let's keep going with the story. So Mark Russell hates the monsters, including Godzilla. He blames Godzilla for the death of his son, Andrew Russell. So, I don't know. I think Andrew Russell is alive. I mean, he could be alive. Because one of the cast members is basically the kid who played that like pissed off rage mutant kid from Deadpool 2. I mean, he could be Andrew Russell in Godzilla vs. Kong. So there's that. I don't know. The fight scenes, there's a lot of monster scenes that I would love to explain. I mean, they're incredible, but I'm probably going to go for the monster scenes like in order. So here we go. So basically, before I want to get to the fights, I do want to mention that there are a few major characters that are already dead, which broke my heart, and one of them shocked me the most, and like I didn't know this was gonna happen. But the thing is that one of the characters, or there are three human characters that died actually that broke all our hearts and stuff like that. So one of them is, oh man, Dr. Graham, played by Sally Hoskins. She was in Godzilla 2014, and she was in this movie, of course, but she was killed half of the movie. Like, I was like, no! Like, I was like, oh my god. Like, I was literally, like, freaking out. Like, they killed her off in this movie, and so here's how it goes. It's the scene in Antarctica, and she was killed when Ghidorah one of Ghidorah's heads ate that part where it just ate her. Yes, one of Ghidorah's heads ate her. So yeah, she's already killed. I'm very heartbroken that she's killed. So even Serizawa was heartbroken after he lost his one and the longest friend he ever had, like a daughter figure. So he lost her for a horrible reason. So next is Dr. Emma Russell. She sacrificed herself, taking the Orca, telling her. So Madison Russell refused to let her mother go, yet she sacrificed. Well, I don't know if she's already dead, honestly, because we didn't get to see that King Ghidorah already did kill her or something like that. We see her, like, the last word she said was "Long live the king." Yeah, we don't see the. Here's one thing I think you guys need to hear. We don't see the body. I did not see the body yet. We don't know. We don't see how King Ghidorah was able to kill her or anything. So, but I do have a feeling she could either survive that type of getting away from Ghidorah, or she's basically killed off. I mean, Godzilla did a nuclear pulse with like a Mothra's wings type thing, which I'll get to that in a moment. So basically, I'll get to that soon. So the one that really this is the one that made me feel like I had tears coming out of my eyes was Dr. Serizawa. This was the part everyone was heartbroken, and that some people in the audience with me knew. I mean, we all knew this was coming. That Dr. Serizawa is gonna die in this movie, supposedly because he's named Dr. Serizawa and he gave his life up, but this time he's doing it for Godzilla, just to save the world. And he was speaking, and the translation, he speaks Japanese, and the quote for the song, "Goodbye, old friend," and boom, a mass explosion, and Serizawa dies. It's really sad. I had tears coming out of my eyes. It was so sad. I literally couldn't stop. It was so sad. But anyways, yeah. Now for the monster scenes. So here we go. So during Mothra's egg opening, Mothra really steals the movie with the music. It's so awesome. I couldn't believe she actually gets to like steal the show when it comes to the music. Like, it's just so great. So, but yeah, Mothra hatched out of the egg, and it was pretty cool, honestly. So Madison Russell gets to touch Mothra, and and that scene is that it's just Mothra sneezing at both Madison Russell and Emma Russell, but it's not like mucus or anything. It's just like an air sneeze. I mean, come on, Mothra's just a baby in that time. So, and of course, so before that, Charles Dance played, who was also known as Alan Jonah, or originally we call him Jonah Allen, but in this movie he kidnaps both Emma and Madison Russell by stealing the orca. I never talked about the orca because this thing is important, because that is the item to control these titans or monsters. So Emma Russell released only 2 titans to cause mass destruction. The only titan she's able to communicate with is Mothra as a peaceful creature, and Mothra is trying to do anything to protect humankind. So, anyways, now to explain that. So, going back with the monster scenes. So there was an intimidation display that is pretty awesome. I really like that intimidation display scene. It's just it gets funny. There are a lot of jokes that I really, really laughed so much of it. Like for example, when Charles Dance was like playing like some kind of hand type where like face expressions, and Madison Russell just flicked him off with the birdie. That was the funniest scene I have ever. It was like, it's a laugh out loud moment. I literally couldn't stop laughing. It was funny, okay? If you guys saw it, you would love it. You would laugh your asses off. So basically, that's what Charles Dance did. So, and I think I said Charles Dance or Alan Jonah doing that to Millie Bobby Brown or Madison Russell. So Charles Dance did a bad joke, and she just flicked him off. That's funny. Stranger Things versus Game of Thrones. Anyways, so yeah, I know I'm going out of order for some odd reasons. I don't know, because there are a lot of things I remember so much of it. So I'm going to go back to watch it like so many times, probably because I want to take notes for it, and I'll be saving that for Godzilla Thon. So yeah, that's true. But anyways, now that I explain that, the scene where where all the monarchs try to stop Alan, or Jonah Allen, that's Charles Dance from Game of Thrones. Basically, he forced Emma Russell to free King Ghidorah, and the scene where King Ghidorah arises. Remember the "You Gotta Be Kidding Me" scene where O'Shea Jackson Jr. stated? No, in the movie it's "You Gotta Be Fucking Kidding Me." They add fucking in that movie. He just dropped an F-bomb in a Godzilla movie. That's very awesome. So this is the first time they ever do that. So anyways, now there's that. This Godzilla arrives and with the awesome Akira Ifukube like remix. I'll talk about the music soon, but Godzilla and Ghidorah had their fight and it's incredible. Godzilla and Ghidorah did not have two fights. Michael Dargry stated there were two fights, and it's basically like he's kind of wrong because Godzilla and Ghidorah have three fights in the movie. It's really odd, actually. But all three fights are great. I don't know which is the best one, to be honest. But anyways, yeah. The scene in Isla de Mara when Rodan is awakened, it's so badass. And I mean, the only disappointment I have is I did listen to the soundtrack, but I wish they could have added the Rodan remix from Akira Ifukube. But I guess this really does pump a lot of good things. So, but anyways. So, the Rodan scene, there's a lot of Rodan action. Like, a lot. Rodan versus the jets and planes and everything. It's a reminiscence to the original Rodan movie. Like, and I mean it is. It's kind of like the original Rodan, where Rodan's attacking so many jets and planes, and Rodan's able to survive. It's also a remix to Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah, where the military tried to fire a King Ghidorah, but were defeated by him, and instead of King Ghidorah, it was Rodan. So, speaking of which, when they led Rodan to King Ghidorah, and Rodan was able to hear Ghidorah, like both of them were fighting, yet Ghidorah won. Yeah, that's right. Ghidorah kicked Rodan's ass. So Ghidorah and Godzilla fought again, but Ghidorah defeats him again, but with the Oxygen Destroyer. Oh man. I mean, not with the Oxygen Destroyer. Well, it's like I explained the Admiral from the previous film. He said the Oxygen Destroyer. Yeah, Godzilla, Ghidorah was able to survive that. And, well, before that, Godzilla and Ghidorah had a great underwater fight, and Godzilla ripped off one of Ghidorah's heads. Like, basically, I think it's the left head. Yeah, Godzilla just broke out of the left head of Ghidorah. It's just so brutal. So, actually, yeah, I will talk about the monster soon, but the fights are just crazy. And when Godzilla ripped off one of Ghidorah's heads, the left one, everyone was like clapping, like, yeah! There was a lot of applauding, and I was like, wow, it's awesome. I actually got to see this movie in theaters with a huge crowd of Godzilla fans. So, yeah. So once Godzilla's been defeated, Ghidorah lands on the volcano of Isla de Mara, and it's funny to note that the head that Godzilla ripped off actually regrows back, and that's something we never saw before in any Godzilla movie. Okay, sure, Hydras do that. They regrow heads after they regrow heads from they're after being sliced off, they regrew their heads, several different parts of it, but this is a lot different. The new head regenerates as regrew as some kind of water, a water broke or something. Yeah, it's kind of a pregnancy type thing, but no, I mean, it's hard to explain what this part is called. So it actually regrows. Yeah, it regrew. King Ghidorah regrew his left head, and yeah, and then all three heads start roaring into the sky, and the new Titans have rised. Yeah, we finally get to see the new Titans. Well, first of all, no Anguirus, no Kumonga, none of that. No Toho monsters, but yet one of them is a familiar face, which I'll get to him in a moment soon. Out of curiosity, I feel like that shot of King Ghidorah, on top of the mountain, it kind of reminds me of Chernobog from Fantasia, especially since you have a devilish type evil character on top of a big mountain. And then go look at Fantasia, go look at Chernobog from Fantasia in the segment Nine on Bald Mountain. That is really similar. sure, these two are just two different type of characters, but to be honest, it's so similar to what I see, and I highly doubt there's a coincidence. So, but so during the shot where before Charles Dance says "Long live the king," we see Rodan like flying around King Ghidorah, and then when he lands like near the volcano, Rodan starts bowing to Ghidorah. It's no wonder why we see Rodan and Mothra fighting, because Rodan is under the orders of King Ghidorah. Because actually in this movie they don't call him Ghidorah at all. Like when he's first introduced, everyone keeps calling him Monster Zero. What remnants to Invasion of the Astro Monster. He's called Monster Zero because they didn't get the official name, and history just wants to forget about him because he's just a nightmare. So until Dr. Chen, basically, well, she has a twin sister, like I said, Dr. Yin. So both are twins. Yeah, Mothra twins. No surprise. It's no surprise. Well, it was surprising actually to me. It was a surprise that there were twins. So, anyways, now I explained that. She actually gave the name Ghidorah because and Dr. Serizawa said that Ghidorah is a false king and he's not from around here. He's the nightmare of Earth. So, meaning he was never meant to be on Earth. He's from an outside world that's not from Earth. So, yes, it's confirmed King Ghidorah is an alien. So, yeah, we got an alien Ghidorah in this movie. Yeah, I am so glad we got an alien. This is basically my favorite Ghidorah. And, well, we'll talk about that in a moment. So, yeah, they gave the name Ghidorah. Now he's called King Ghidorah because, well, Dr. Serizawa quoted a false king. So, yes, a false king of monsters, meaning like Serizawa's saying like Ghidorah is a false monster king. So, anyways, now that I explained that, so Mothra, the way Mothra like turned into her like butterfly form, like her imago form. I mean, I was the first person, and everyone gets to do it with me. We all start clapping like woo. Like it was so beautiful. It was the most beautiful scene of the movie. Like it's so great. Like we love seeing Mothra. But here's one thing: I complained so much that the Queen of the Monsters could have been like a remnant, like a remixed version of Sacred Springs. I mean, Sacred Springs has been my favorite Mothra like theme song rather than her original one. I mean, that's what Queen of the Monsters should have been. The Sacred Springs. But hey, at least the new Mothra songs are pretty good. They're pretty good. So anyways, all the monsters have been released. O'Shea Jackson Jr. with every other soldiers went to go to Washington D.C. to stop Ghidorah and Rodan. More action scenes of Rodan in the sky. I did not mention about Rodan actually eating a guy, a pilot, which is basically a remnant to the giant claw. So, except it's Rodan and a better bird. So, I mean, the giant claw sucks. Yeah, I did see the art concept of Rodan, and it looked like shit. So, yeah. But anyways, that's basically what I was going to say. Dr. Serizawa went down to... They all went to the hollow... Like, underground, the hollow earth, and they found Godzilla. I stated Dr. Serizawa risked his life nuking the entire place just to give Godzilla more power, and so he did. So Serizawa risked his life, and yeah, the goodbye old friend after Serizawa touches Godzilla, and Godzilla like understands him as a friend. Like, oh man, my throat is hurting. But anyways, yeah. So, and then Godzilla reaches up, and everyone starts clapping when Godzilla breathed his atomic breath into the sky. It was awesome. That was awesome. So, anyways, Madison Russell stole the orca. So, yeah, and it's orca, not orga, like the monster Orga. It's similar, but it's orca to control these titans, and she's using them to draw them out to follow her. but she accidentally calls out for King Ghidorah. So, and listen, guys, I do want to disappoint all of you, but the Madison trying to reach Monarch scene is not part of the movie. It's so there is rumors that there will be a 3-hour cut released by Michael Dougherty, that there are scenes that were missed out and they will be added back then. So maybe they'll add that, just like the 24. So, but I highly doubt that would happen. I mean, 2014's extended cut was already canceled. So, yeah. But now we're gonna get into like the big moment that everyone wants to hear, the final battle. So this is the part where I actually like feel like I had to go to the bathroom and stuff like that, but I was like, fuck no, I'm not going. I am holding it because of this amazing, can't wait type moment. Yeah, I was in the movies the entire time, like waiting for something and being very excited because this is the moment I've always wanted to see, is the final battle, and I've been waiting all day just to watch the movie. It's so awesome. I really love this. So, there were a few jump scares, like the intimidation display, which is basically like I jumped back and stuff. That was funny. Ghidorah did get like one jump scare, scaring the shit out of Madison Russell. So, I mean, yeah, it was pretty scary. So, yeah. Anyways, so when Ghidorah like was close enough to kill Madison Russell and Godzilla breathes his atomic breath, here's one thing I do want to mention. There is a bunch of Showa like Godzilla roars. Yeah, I never mentioned that, but so I mean that is awesome. I think that's pretty cool. I wish it was the 54 roar added to it, but hey. And speaking of 54, do you all remember? So do you all remember the opening scene of the original Godzilla? Like you hear foot stomps and stuff like that, and then cuts to black and stuff like that, and then you hear the roar of Godzilla. So it's similar to that way, but with the 2014, no, with the Showa Godzilla roar. And no, the logo did not appear until the very end of the movie. So, anyways, now I'll explain that. So the final battle is awesome. We get to hear the classic Akira Ifukube, Godzilla fighting Ghidorah. And when we hear Mothra's song, like we were all applauding. That was the best. That was one of the best scenes. Is Mothra like swerve, like flying down and attack Ghidorah in a very badass way with the silk, and we hear the. Like, it's so awesome. That was amazing. The king and queen teamed up together. Actually, I want to go back to say this, but I forgot to tell you guys. The rain scene, with Kyle Chandler, yeah, the scene with Kyle Chandler, like, trying to head somewhere, but then he saw a bright light, and it turns out to be Mothra. Like, Dr. Chen quoted, she's the queen of the monsters, and she's trying to help Godzilla. Every Titan's bow to their new king. Of course, it's Ghidorah, but Mothra's the only one standing to defend Godzilla. So, like, she's on Godzilla's side, and she knows who her true enemies is. So, yeah, Mothra's, like, the smartest out of all the monsters. So, basically, she's, like, the good girl. So, yeah. Yeah, they even talked about her relationship with Godzilla. Awesome. I mean, yep. Fanfics people, you got what you wished for. Godzilla and Mothra's relationship. They're a couple. Well, you don't see how they're a couple or something, but they mentioned their relationship. Ouch, my throat is killing me. But anyways, yeah. Well, the scene where Mothra is like trying to find Godzilla underwater after his defeat by King Ghidorah and the Oxygen Destroyer. But also there's something I did miss out. Oh no, let's go back to the final battle. So when Mothra appears, it's so amazing. Mothra gets to appear, the king and queen versus an evil being. That is just crazy. That is the that's one of the best scenes I've ever seen in my life. So, but then when Rodan appeared, it was Mothra versus Rodan. Yeah, like I said, guys, it's a spoiler warning, but no Godzilla versus Rodan. So, sorry, guys. Godzilla versus Rodan did not happen. So, but anyways, I wish it does. But anyways, so it's a tag team already, and all the monsters start fighting. Dr. Emma Russell escaped to save her daughter, and so Kyle Chandler and Emma Russell. Mark Russell and Emma Russell. So I said Kyle Chandler because obviously that's the actor's name. Basically in this movie, so now that they're reunited, they search for their daughter, and yeah, her daughter survived the collapse of their house, and well, she's still alive. Okay, don't worry, she just fainted and just survived. So they're trying to find. They had the damaged orca that King Ghidorah destroyed, well, stomped on actually, and they try to rebuild it. So Ghidorah and Godzilla were fighting too much of it. Godzilla was near defeating. Well, once Ghidorah like unleashed an entire gravity beams out of his wings, which is the most badass scene we never saw in any kaiju films. I mean, this is basically a reference to GMK. So, but basically, so, and of course the climax between Mothra and Rodan. Rodan was near to kill Mothra, but then Mothra stinged Rodan on his like lungs, like she stabbed him, and I was like, what? Like, it's just so like, yeah, obvious. So officially, Mothra didn't. So yeah, Rodan was defeated by Mothra, but Rodan is not. But here's the thing: Rodan did not die in this part. Rodan was only like stung by Mothra, like. Because, like, I don't know why. Mothra's doing defense type or something, but... So, Mothra's wings look the reason you guys remember seeing Mothra's wings being damaged was because that... her battle with Rodan. So, yeah. No fire abilities. No fire beams from Rodan. So, yeah, no fire Rodan, but, yeah. Anyways, now I explained that. So, Godzilla and Ghidorah start fighting too much and stuff like that, but Godzilla's near defeated. So Ghidorah grabs Godzilla and flies him up to the sky and drops him down. You remember that's in the trailers, that when the meteor comes down from the sky? Well, as it turns out, it was Godzilla that was falling from the sky. I mean, it would have been Rodan dive bombing or Ghidorah's origins. That would have been better for that, but no, it's Godzilla falling from the sky. And Godzilla did not splatter like a big giant like crater, or didn't splash like a pancake. So Godzilla fell, and when he landed, like the smoke comes out from his dorsal plates, and Godzilla was like fainting so badly that he is literally almost defeated by Ghidorah. Mothra is a little damaged, and when she goes up to Godzilla, Mothra's like on top of Godzilla, trying to protect him from Ghidorah. So, Mothra really does care about Godzilla. It feels like there's a real relationship. Like Mothra really does love him, and Godzilla does care about her. So Godzilla was like, so when Godzilla's nearly dead, Mothra is like really pissed, and she glows her wings like on top of Godzilla, trying to protect him. And when Mothra flies, yes, spoiler warning, Mothra died sacrificing herself to save Godzilla once Ghidorah fires his gravity beams. So Mothra did it to risk her life. So, but remember, guys, I do want to state this about Mothra, but I'll get to that in a moment soon. So yeah, Mothra's death. Like a bunch of like, there are a few girls behind me, and they were like crying when Mothra died. So yeah, it's true. Mothra was the most beautiful creature in the Godzilla franchise. So when Mothra died, her spirit or any of her powers went inside of Godzilla. So it could be possible that that she would be alive or something. But anyways, now I explain that. Um, so yes, I did explain about the Dr. Emma Russell dying in the process, but then Godzilla defeated Ghidorah with his nuclear pulse in a burning or Scarlet Godzilla type. So, but I'm just gonna call him Fire God, supercharged Fire Godzilla. Like, instead of just saying like, oh, he's Burning Godzilla or he's Scarlet Godzilla. I mean, he looks too much like Scarlet Godzilla rather than being Burning Godzilla. So, but I'm gonna call him I'm just gonna call him Fire Charged Godzilla instead of calling him Burning Godzilla. Well, I know a lot of fans remember him as Burning Godzilla, is especially when there's an area being melted down. Ghidorah was like roaring, like he's really scared of Godzilla. He tried firing so much of his gravity beams to get rid of Godzilla, but when Godzilla annihilated two of his heads, the left and right, and the center was the only one left. And this is the part where I get to laugh so much. Once Godzilla defeats Ghidorah, like, it was the most badass scene I have ever saw in any Godzilla films. My God, that was so perfect. And get ready for this laugh out loud moment. So you see Ghidorah's middle head, and it's like he's covered in like dirt. He's covered in dirt, like, well, no, not dirt, just like a bunch of like smoke and like all over his face, and it's still like moving around or something like that. And but his entire body's destroyed. Yeah, Ghidorah's like middle head was like moving around like he's still alive. Yeah, Godzilla annihilated him finally. So Godzilla did kill Ghidorah finally, and that was Godzilla versus Ghidorah's fight was so epic. That was the most epic scene I've ever seen in a Godzilla movie. So, and now for the new Titans. So yeah, now all the Titans came to Godzilla, and they all like roaring or something. They all like looked afraid and stuff like that. So Rodan is still alive, of course, and when he saw Godzilla, like he was afraid to say what's going on or something like that. But then Rodan's like same thing with Ghidorah I mentioned earlier. He decides to bow to Godzilla. So all the monsters, like all the other Titans, so here's what they are. So one of them is like an elephant type. Like, no, it's called like the behemoth. So a behemoth is like, it's supposed to look like some kind of olifant or something like that. For those who don't know what an olifant is, it's basically a pissed off looking elephant types from Lord of the Rings. So, and that's what this thing looks like. So next is some kind of a big spider with tentacles out of his face. So, and finally, you got, now someone tweeted out like a familiar face had showed up in this movie, and it's not a Toho monster, and it's not Kong, and as it turns out, it's a Muto. So, yes, a Muto shows up. So, yeah, a Muto shows up, and that was really cool and stuff like that. Oh, I didn't get to mention about Mutos earlier. The scene where, so in the beginning of the movie, when they show clips of the monsters between Godzilla, Kong, and what'd you call it? The Mutos, remember the Mutos, like, love scene? So, they actually put a hilarious censored on the screen, and it's like a laugh out loud moment that everyone laughs so much on. But, so, anyways, so yeah, we get to see the Muto in this movie. Well, oh, and the female Muto, and like we saw in the beginning of a new Monarch base. I forgot. Yeah, there's that. So, this new Muto, not Muto Prime from Godzilla Aftershock. I did read that comic too. So, this new Muto also bowed to Godzilla. So, very cool. And Godzilla roars so loud into the sky. And when the logos came up, we were all clapping and joyful. That was awesome. And then the credits roll for the Godzilla Blue Oyster Cult, the new version, honestly. So, and of course the after credits scene. So, I hope you're all ready for this. There's a lot of shots and pictures that of Titans and stuff, and of course a new Mothra egg. So yes, basically Mothra, yes, she's already dead, but as it turns out, we get another Mothra egg, meaning she's coming back. Mothra is coming back in this movie, and it's so awesome. Mothra, we're gonna see another so, and I'm talking about like a picture type or something. I don't know, but it's like, I don't remember, something to deal with a Mothra egg. I think, I don't know, but Mothra's egg did showed up, like another one, and was so awesome. So, yep. And then the after credits scene, which, guys, you're not gonna be happy if I say this, but it's not Kong in the after credits scene. It's basically taking place in Isla de Mara, and so, and I did mention about and that's after the Hororo Nakajima tribute. We see Charles Dance, also known as Alan Jonah from Charles Dance from Game of Thrones. He's in Isla de Mara, and he sees the remaining head of King Ghidorah. And his words were, when he saw it, was, "We'll take it." Like, wow. There's gonna be a Mecha King Ghidorah, people. And I mean, there is. That was a great ending, right? Yeah, that's the after credits scene. That's where the movie ends. Man, this movie was so good. Oh my god. So great. The monster fight's awesome. The music by Bear McCreary is great. Rodan was great. Mothra, she stole the movie from me. I mean, Rodan was kind of like, had the least screen time. I wish there would be So, as for Mothra, I mean, please, give me a Mothra movie. And the tagline will be, "Every king needs a queen." So, that will be the new tagline for a standalone Mothra movie. I cannot wait. I know that's probably going to happen. There's rumors that Michael Dougherty has stated that there will not just be these two, not just Godzilla or Kong, but other monsters getting their movies. So hopefully Mothra will get her movie. It's gonna be so cool. King Ghidorah, I mean, is badass. I did not mention something. King Ghidorah's heads have 3 different personalities. Like the middle head picking on the left head. I mean, that was so funny. And actually, King Ghidorah in this movie is badass. Godzilla in this movie, awesome. I really love this movie. Honestly, guys, it's a pretty long review. I'm so glad you're listening to spoilers. I'm basically out of order right now. But when I go see the movie again, or buy it on DVD and Blu-ray or iTunes, I would take notes for this movie and review it as a Godzilla fan. So, anyways, thank you so much for watching. 300 subscribers. Thank you so much, everybody. You guys made this channel great. Thank you so much. I mean, I'm not as perfect as D-Man 1954, but hey, this at least I get to enjoy the Godzilla franchise. So, with that being said, guys, I'm giving this movie a 10 out of 10. I feel like I have a new favorite Godzilla movie. I mean, this is basically my favorite Godzilla movie since Terror of Mechagodzilla, which is originally my favorite one. So now it moved to second place. And Godzilla is still on third place. So, oh man, this is great. Oh man, this is great. So, 10 out of 10. This is the best. Michael Dougherty, you literally made me feel like a kid again. I think you're the best. I want a Godzilla 3. Give me a Godzilla 3. I want to see classic kaijus like Mechagodzilla and Gigan in the next installment, please. After Godzilla vs. Kong. And give me a Mothra movie, please. Make the Monsterverse continue with Toho. So, anyways, 10 out of 10. I cannot wait for Godzilla vs. Kong. This is awesome. I love it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys on my Godzilla-thon for this movie. Maybe sometime or another, but I'll see you guys next time. This is SB Goji Fan, signing off. Bye! Oh, and one last thing before I want to end this. I did forget to mention that the SH Monster Arts Mothra and Rodan are finally up for pre-order, and I really can't wait to get my hands on these two guys. I am basically going to be selling the NECA Godzilla 2019 because of the Monster Arts figure. So, and I will do the same with Mothra, but right now, the NECA Mothra comes out like somewhere around like this week on Monday. So, I don't know, but who knows? But anyways, yeah, Mothra and Rodan from SH Monster Arts are up for pre-order, and I literally can't wait to get them. So thank you so much for watching. Again, I did forget to mention it, so but yeah, that's it right now. Bye.